Everyone thinks SaaS subscriptions are about paying for software. They're not. The standard explanation goes like this: software used to cost money upfront. You bought a license, installed it, owned it. Then the internet arrived. Companies realized they could host software in the cloud and charge monthly instead. Simpler for users, more predictable revenue for companies, a fair trade. The math seemed obvious. Recurring small payments beat lumpy capital expenditure. Salesforce launched in 1999. They didn't sell software licenses, they rented access to a database in a data center you'd never see. Monthly fee, no installation, no server to maintain, it worked. By 2005, the model had spread. Adobe, Microsoft, Slack, all of them pivoted. The subscription became standard. Wall Street loved it. Revenue became predictable. Growth looked exponential on spreadsheets. But here's where the explanation cracks. If subscriptions were truly about convenience, they'd have a natural end point. You'd pay until you didn't need the software anymore, then you'd stop. You'd own nothing, but you'd be done, except that's not what happened. The subscriptions didn't optimize for your exit, they optimized for your permanence. Consider the mechanics. A subscription is a recurring authorization. You give permission once. The company charges you indefinitely until you actively revoke it. Cancellation isn't a default, it's a choice you have to make, and companies have engineered that choice to be difficult, buried in account settings. Phone calls required, chat queues that don't respond. This isn't accident, it's architecture. A 2018 study found that roughly 40% of subscription cancellations failed on the first attempt. Users gave up. The company kept charging. That's not a feature of the technology, that's a feature of the business model. Friction is profitable. The real economics of SaaS aren't about delivering software efficiently. They're about creating a permanent revenue stream from temporary use. You sign up for a project, 3 months later you're done, but the subscription keeps running, you forget about it. The company counts on that forgetting. It's called involuntary churn recovery in industry terms. Forgotten subscriptions are revenue. The pricing reflects this too. A single SaaS tool might cost $12 a month, harmless, but you're not using one tool, you're using 15. Slack, Figma, Notion, Zapier, Adobe Creative Cloud. $12 times 15 equals $180 a month, $2,160 a year. Invisible, automatic, compounding. Companies understood this math before users did. They priced each subscription at a point where the individual charge felt negligible. But collectively, they knew most users would stack 5, 10, 20 subscriptions. The total spend per customer ballooned. And the switching cost, the friction of learning a new tool, migrating data, kept people locked in. This is why SaaS companies obsess over customer lifetime value rather than customer satisfaction. Lifetime value assumes you'll stay forever, or long enough that the accumulated monthly charges exceed what you'd have paid for a perpetual license years ago. The longer you stay, the more you've paid. The company wins not by making you happy, but by making you stuck. The cloud infrastructure is real, the hosting costs are real, but those are sunk costs after a certain scale. Once a company has built the system, adding one more user costs almost nothing. So why not charge 15 of you the same price instead of 5? Maximize revenue per customer. The software doesn't degrade. The cost to the company stays flat. You pay more, they keep more. So what's actually happening? SaaS subscriptions aren't a distribution model. They're a lock-in model disguised as convenience. The subscription captures you through small charges, switching costs, and cancellation friction. The longer you stay, the more you've paid. The company's incentive is your permanence, not your satisfaction. That's the economics. That's what the model optimizes for. Understanding this changes how you read the industry. When a company makes cancellation difficult, it's not a bug. When they price each tool at the threshold of pain, it's intentional. When they add features you don't use, they're increasing your switching cost. The subscription model works because it's designed to work not for you, but for their balance sheet. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to see how other consumer systems hide their real mechanics in plain sight. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.